How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show, we're going to take a look back at all the games in the Premier League over the weekend. There was a win for Wolves, a win for Arsenal, a win for Liverpool, and a draw for Man City.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So it's Monday morning, which means we get to look back on all the games over the course of the weekend. And there's plenty of goals, plenty of talking points, and as always, plenty of drama. First place we're going to start was the first game Saturday afternoon, Brentford against Liverpool. This was a very comfortable 4-1 win for Liverpool. And I'll tell you one thing, when I looked at the highlights, what on earth happened to Brentford's defending? It was calamitous. Some of the mistakes, it looked like Sunday League football, not Premier League. I understand mistakes happen in football, but this was just pathetic. The first goal for Liverpool, what a quality goal by Darwin Núñez. One-on-one with the keeper, and you're thinking, does he go round him, slide it under? He chips it over. What a goal that was. Fair play. But Liverpool, yeah, they were very, very comfortable. Mo Salah at the heart of things as per usual. But I feel that the big, issue with this game and the big issue with Liverpool will be the injuries. They were already going into this game with a load of injuries, with the likes of Alisson missing, Trent's missing still. And then Jota picks up another injury. It seems to be a constant theme with him. He plays a few games, he gets injured, comes back, etc., etc. Curtis Jones as well, doesn't look good for him. And just before a cup final as well, it's not great for Liverpool. And I feel that this could be something that ends up, coming back to bite them, because I don't feel they have the strength in depth. And if they start losing some real big key players at key moments, then it could derail everything that they're doing, especially with the title challenge. So that will be the one negative from the weekend that Jurgen Klopp will take from that. But in terms of the result, it was a big win and a very good result for them. Arsenal winning at Burnley 5-0. I've spoke about this in much detail in my match reaction. So if you haven't seen that video, go and have a look. But yeah, very simple, very comfortable. 5-0 win. It's been all right. 2 away games, 6-0, 5-0. What more could you ask for? Newcastle against Bournemouth, 2-2 draw at St James's Park. Very entertaining game. Bournemouth, in terms of an attacking threat, look really, really good. And they have done for a while. They had a lot of chances in this game as well. And Newcastle had to snatch this one quite late in the day. It was like 91st, 92nd minute, something like that. But, Solanke, I see that goal. It was like the goalkeeper, he goes like he's under no pressure, and the way the modern football is, but he slips and Solanke's like, thank you very much, and tucks it in. But Newcastle go and get themselves a point. Of course, Eddie Howe against his former club. But yeah, the point apiece there. So, decent enough result for Bournemouth. But they'll be looking at and thinking they should have took 3. Fulham against Aston Villa, 2-1 win for Aston Villa. Very good result, given their recent ones. And, seems to have gone off the boil a little bit. But yeah, it was Ollie Watkins, very, very good performance, and he's a constant threat, and a couple of goals for him. Nottingham Forest against West Ham, another defeat for West Ham. Nottingham Forest, big 3 points. And it's not going well at the moment for Calvin Phillips since his move from Man City. Been at fault for a couple of goals, and he gets sent off in this game. And one thing I will say, I've had a look at the 2 yellow cards, and the second one, it's one of those where the players are both, trying to clear and block at the same time. And it's just inevitable. It's not a yellow card for me, but in this day and age, this is what happens. And, when players start jumping around everywhere and making the tackle look a lot worse than it actually is. and there's no VAR intervention with yellow cards or anything, it's inevitable what's going to happen. And he gets his marching orders. And yeah, it's not been great for him, is it? His move, it's a fresh start and he'd wanted to have moved on. And yeah, West Ham fans are already calling for his head. And yeah, listen, I don't really know what their fans want. They're 8th in the league or something. And, you know, in the knockout rounds of the Europa League and everything. But yet they talk and want things that are way above their means. Like, relax, man. Tottenham against Wolves. Wolves with a 2-1 win in this game. Fully deserved as well. Tottenham's high line is absolutely pathetic. You can sit there all you want about the manager and the fact that he sits in interviews and he says mate all the time and this, that and the other. But listen, at the end of the day, it's starting to wear thin now. All of that hype and that new manager and everything. Listen, if you come into the Premier League and you want to try and play that high line, the teams will absolutely annihilate you and counter you to a T. And that's what Wolves did. What Gary O'Neill's doing and some of the results he pulls out and everything. He's a quality manager, you know. And listen, they were just all over Spurs and they could have had more goals. Neto in particular, that second goal, the way that he drove, and I didn't realise he had that much pace. Like, rapid, cuts it back. What a goal. But yeah, Wolves, brilliant win for them. And Spurs, like, listen, they're only 3 points clear of Manchester United. A Spurs side that were apparently the new dawn and the title challengers are 3 points clear of a Manchester United side that apparently a mess. Make it make sense. But yeah, Man United were winners yesterday against Luton Town. 2-1, opening 10 minutes. Manchester United were fantastic. Luton, pathetic. The opening goal was just calamitous, and how you can just put the ball back in his path like that is just poor. All your plans for the week go out of the window within the opening minute when you do something like that. But then for the next 80 minutes, Man United were not great. They were just boring. It was laborious and it was just not great. But they'll look at it in one sense and say they're getting points and that's what they need. The football itself is not great. But yeah, wins are wins at the end of the day, and you take them any means necessary. So that's the way that Man United fans will probably look at it. Sheffield United against Brighton. 5-0 win for Brighton. Sheffield United down to 10 men within the opening 13 minutes. Clear red card. Absolutely ridiculous tackle. But Brighton very, very comfortable after that. And it was, just an easy day at the office, shall we say. And Sheffield United, they're just poor. Very, very poor. And they're getting relegated. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's as simple as that. Last game I'm going to speak about was the big one of the weekend. Manchester City against Chelsea. And Manchester City have dropped 2 points. And it actually took Rodri with a late goal to get them a point in this game. Chelsea did all right. Played well. Raheem Sterling going back to Man City and scoring. But they had chances. And I feel that the tactics of Pochettino probably played into the hands of Manchester City. And whilst they were there for the taking and Chelsea were on the front foot, he went and kind of went defensive. And it invited pressure from Man City. And eventually, they're going to, break that wall, shall we say. And they're going to, make that pressure pay. And that's exactly what they did. I just feel that if Chelsea were a little bit more adventurous and not so defensive so early, they could have probably got a second goal in the game, to be fair. And they could probably, pull it out of reach. But they didn't. And Man City go and get themselves a point. But like I was saying, in the title race and the way things are and everything else, a draw is going to feel like a defeat. When Liverpool and Arsenal are just grinding out their results and doing what they're doing, yeah, it's not great, for Man City. And that's the thing. It's, Arsenal, form team right now, 5 wins out of 5. Liverpool, 4 wins out of 5. Their only defeat was against Arsenal. Man City, 4 wins and a draw. This is how close it is. Any slip up, any draw will feel like a defeat. And it's so tight at the moment. When you're looking at that, Man City do have a game in hand, of course, and that will take them on 56 points with Arsenal on 55. But the 2 points dropped is really, really good because, when you look at it, Man City probably only going a point ahead rather than, 3 points ahead, and you're relying on goal difference and everything. And speaking of goal difference, we've got the best in the Premier League now. Man City are actually 5 behind us in terms of the goal difference. So our last 2 results have done unbelievable for the goal difference side of things. We're on 36 goal difference with Man City on 31 and Liverpool on 35. But yeah, when you're looking at the table, Aston Villa in 4th, 49 points. They're having a fantastic season, to be fair. And they're like I said, they're only, 6 points off Arsenal and whatnot. Spurs, 47 points. Man United, 44. Then Brighton on 38. I think the top 6 will be the top 6. I don't think that's going to change. I can't see Brighton, Newcastle getting anywhere involved in that because they're on 38 and 37 respectively. Chelsea, of course, they're on 35. They're not going to be getting involved in anything. Bottom 3, Everton, Burnley, Sheffield United. For me, Burnley and Sheffield United are done. It's between Everton, Luton, Palace, Forest, possibly Brentford for that final place. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns, that's for sure. In terms of the next set of games, Manchester City, they play tomorrow. They play their game in hand at home to Brentford. So you've got to look at that and think 3 points. Then you go to Wednesday, Liverpool against Luton. That's an interesting game because that's a very interesting game because they've got the cup final at the weekend against Chelsea. I'm surprised they've been given a Premier League game. Why have they been given a Premier League game? That doesn't make sense because Chelsea's game was cancelled at the weekend against Spurs because obviously, the cup final. It's a strange one. I'm looking at the fixtures this weekend and Man City are away to Bournemouth. Arsenal at home to Newcastle. Obviously Liverpool are not playing. Chelsea not playing. Tottenham not playing. So why have Liverpool been given a game on the Wednesday? Somebody let me know in the comment section why, because it's not like it's a game in hand. So why have they been given the game? Was this their game at the weekend? Was this who they were supposed to be playing? And the Premier League have moved it to the Wednesday? Why not move Chelsea's one to midweek as well then? That doesn't make sense. That's kind of like, that's a weird one. Someone let me know because I honestly don't know. It just seems really weird that they've been given a game 3 days or so before a cup final, and with their injuries and stuff like that, that's probably the last thing that they need is a game. And then we go back to all the games the following weekend and everything else. And Liverpool away at Nottingham Forest. And that just seems really weird. Man City, Man United, Arsenal at Sheffield United. So when do we get our game in hand back on them in terms of, other games? Is it... I don't even know. I'm confusing myself now. But anyway, that is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.